Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I'm your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, March 30th, 2023. But more importantly, it is opening day in Major League Baseball. So that's what we're here to talk about. We have a huge slate to go over. There's 11 games and there's 15 games in total, but we're going to mainly cover the first 11. So if you're new to the channel, if you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk in general, we have our MLB opening day special. What you want to do is you go to Twitter, you go to DM us at DFS Coach Talk and let us know that you're interested in the MLB special, and we will get you in our Discord for the rest of the month and all of April. So hope to see you soon. DFS Coach Talk, we are very family friendly, very encouraging, very positive community in our Discord. We provide a Draftkings core and a Fanduel and Yahoo lineup every day during the Major League Baseball season. So hope to see you soon. And we got a lot to get to, so let's go ahead and get right into it. For the way we're going to do this today, I'm going to go over the matchups and the pitching matchups and stuff like that. Not going to go too in depth if you're used to the NBA podcast, but we'll just go, real quick over the matchups because it is opening day. Normally, I'll probably just do like we used to do the pay up pitcher, the value pitcher, the fade, the stacks, the home run call, those kind of things, and then prize picks plays. So the first game we have the San Francisco Giants at the New York Yankees at 1:05 p.m. Eastern. New York is favored. They're minus 180 is the money line. The over-under in this game is 7 runs. It is 40 degrees at Yankee Stadium with wind blowing out at 10 miles an hour. We have the starting lineups here for the I thought we had confirmed lineups. Where did that go? Let's see here. Okay, confirmed lineups for the Giants. Lamonte Wade, Michael Conforto, Wilmer Flores, Jock Peterson, Mike Yastrzemski, Thairo Estrada, Brandon Crawford, Blake Sable, and Roberto Perez, excuse me. And then you have for the Yankees, DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Josh Donaldson, Gleyber Torres, Oswaldo Cabrera, Jose Trevino, and the standout prospect, Anthony Volpe. And that is the pitching matchup in that game is going to be Garrett Cole for the Yankees versus Logan Webb for the Giants. Next game is at 1:05 p.m. Eastern. The Atlanta Braves in Washington taking on the Nationals. Atlanta is a minus 250 favorite. Game has an over-under of 7.5 runs. The temperatures, it's 47 degrees with the wind blowing left to right at 6 miles an hour. You have Max Fried for the Braves taking on Patrick Corbin for the Nationals. For the Braves, their lineup is Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, Sean Murphy, Marcelo Zuna, Michael Harris, Travis d'Arnaud, and Orlando Arcia. For the Nationals, you have Lane Thomas, Joey Meneses, Heimer Candelario, Dominic Smith, Keibert Ruiz, Alex Call, Luis Garcia, Victor Robles, and CJ Abrams. Next game at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. Boston is a minus 125 favorite, has an 8.5 over-under implied run total. 34 degrees, wind 14 miles an hour, blowing left to right. Kyle Gibson for the Orioles taking on Corey Kluber for the Red Sox. For the Orioles, their lineup is Cedric Mullins, Adley Rutschman, Anthony Santander, Ryan Mountcastle, Gunnar Henderson, Ramon Urias, Austin Hayes, Adam Frazier, and Jorge Mateo. For the Red Sox, Alex Verdugo, Rafael Devers, Justin Turner, Matasaki Yoshida, Adam Duvall, Tristan Casas, Carlos Arroyo, Reese McGuire, and Kike Hernandez. Then we have at 2:20 p.m. Eastern, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs. Corbin Burns versus Marcus Stroman. It is 41 degrees, wind blowing 10 miles an hour right to left. Milwaukee is minus 140 favorite, over-under of 6.5 runs, so low over-under total here with these two pitchers and the weather and everything else. Typically, these games at Wrigley Field are pretty low scoring unless the wind's blowing out heavily. So you've got for the Brewers, Christian Yelich, Jesse Winker, Willie Adames, Rowdy Tellez, William Contreras, Luis Urias, Garrett Mitchell, Brian Anderson, and Bryce Terang. The Cubs have Nico Herner, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, Trey Mancini, Jan Gomes, Eric Hosmer, Patrick Wisdom, and Miles Mastrobuoni. Then we have at 3:10 p.m. Eastern, the Detroit Tigers taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay is a minus 240 favorite. It's over under of 6.5 runs, no weather in the dome. Eduardo Rodriguez for the Tigers, Shane McClanahan for the Rays. The projected lineup, we don't have a confirmed lineup yet for the Tigers, but we have a projected lineup of Javier Baez, Riley Green, Miguel Cabrera, Jonathan Scope, Eric Haas, Austin Meadows, Spencer Torkelson, Matt Vierling, and Nick Matone. For the Rays, Yandy Diaz, Wander Franco, Isaac Paredes, Randy Arozarena, Harold Ramirez, Manuel Margot, Brandon Lowe, Christian Betancourt, and Jose Siri. At 4:05 Eastern, we have the Philadelphia Phillies in Globe Life taking on the Texas Rangers. Rangers are minus 135 favorite. That's pretty interesting considering the Phillies were in the World Series last year. And over under of 6.5 runs. So for the Phillies, you have a projected starting lineup of Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Derek Hall, Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, Jake Cave, and Brandon Marsh. And then the confirmed lineup for the Rangers, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Nate Lowe, Avisail Garcia, Adolis Garcia, Adolis Garcia, of course, Adolis Garcia, Josh Jung, Jonah Heim, Robbie Grossman, Brad Miller, and Josh Smith. At 4:10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Minnesota Twins taking on the Kansas City Royals. Pablo Lopez pitching for the Twins and Zach Greinke for the Royals. Twins are minus 155 favorite. This game has an over-under of 9 runs. That might be the highest. I think that is the highest on the day. Yeah, that is the highest on the day. In Kansas City, where it's 67 degrees, the wind's blowing out at 19 miles an hour. So that's a pretty significant wind blowing out. Also, the warmest temperatures on the day. It's only, late March going into April. So the temperatures haven't picked up yet. So this is the warmest game of the day and also has the highest wind. So you've got Pablo Lopez taking on Zach Greinke. Pablo Lopez with the Twins now. And their lineup, you have Max Kepler, Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, Trevor Larnach, Jose Miranda, Nick Gordon, Joey Gallo, Christian Vasquez, and Michael Taylor. For the Royals, they have a projected lineup, not a confirmed lineup yet. MJ Melendez, Bobby Witt, Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, Kyle Isbell, Edward Olivares, Hunter Dozier, Nate Eaton, and Michael Massey. And then at 4:10 p.m. Eastern, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Mitch Keller for the Pirates, Hunter Green for the Reds. It's 63 degrees. The wind's blowing in at 7 miles an hour. Cincinnati is a minus 140 favorite, has an over-under at 8 runs in that small ballpark. I would expect quite a few runs today, even though it's, not quite as warm as it's going to be later on in the year, obviously. You've got O'Neill Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen, Carlos Santana. You have Kanan Smith Najigba, and that is the brother of the same Najigba for Ohio State. That's going to be a top NFL draft pick. So just in case anybody wanted to know that. Key Brian Hayes, Jack Sawinski, Jiwan Bay, and Austin Hedges. Then for the Reds, Jonathan India, TJ Friedel, Jake Fraley, Tyler Stevenson, Jason Vossler, Will Myers, Spencer Steer, Will Benson, and Jose Barrera. 4:10 p.m. Eastern in St. Louis, Busch Stadium, the Alek Manoah for the Blue Jays taking on Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals. Toronto is favored by minus 115, 65-degree temperatures, wind blowing from right to left at 16 miles an hour, has an over-under of 7.5 runs. The projected starting lineup for Toronto: George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Brandon Belt, Alejandro Kirk, Matt Chapman, Dalton Varsho, Whit Merrifield, and Kevin Kiermaier. For the Cardinals, Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Wilson Contreras, Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, and Tommy Edman. And then the last game on the early slate is the New York Mets taking on the Miami Marlins, Max Scherzer taking on Sandy Alcantara. You have New York is a minus 125 favorite, over under of only 7 runs in the Marlins ballpark, Lone Depot ballpark, expecting the lower scoring game with 2 really good pitchers: Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Daniel Vogelbach, Mark Canha, Eduardo Escobar, and Omar Narvaez for the Mets. And then for the Marlins, Luis Arias, Jazz Chisholm, Jorge Soler, Garrett Cooper, Avisail Garcia, Gene Segura, Brian De La Cruz, Joey Wendell, and Jacob Stallings. So that is a good overview of the slate. So now I want to go over the top pitchers that I have on this slate. Let me go ahead and take a look at the chat first. Yes, absolutely, Nathan. I have the baseball vibes as well. Dead Presidents, good to see you in here. So we've got Jacob deGrom. He's 9,600 on DraftKings, 10,800 on FanDuel, $52 on Yahoo. He last pitched against the Phillies on August 13th last year. He pitched 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts for 58 FanDuel points, fantasy points, which if you're playing on Prizepicks, the fantasy score is basically the same as what FanDuel shows for the pitchers, and then on DraftKings for hitters. So just keep that in mind when you're playing the fantasy score on Prizepicks. Max Scherzer is the next option. He's 9,400 on DraftKings, 10,700 on FanDuel, $51 on Yahoo. He hasn't faced the Marlins since June 27th of 2001. In that game, he pitched 6 innings. He allowed 1 run and had 7 strikeouts. The Marlins had the 7th most strikeouts per game last year. And you have Corbin Burns. He's really expensive on FanDuel. He's the most expensive pitcher, but on DraftKings, he's only $8,800 and $48 on Yahoo. He last faced the Cubs on July 6th last year. He pitched 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts for 55 fantasy points. Burns had the 2nd most strikeouts in Major League Baseball last year. Only Garrett Cole had more. The Cubs had the 6th most strikeouts last year, but they have improved their roster quite a bit. They've added Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, Eric Hosmer, Trey Mancini, just to name a few of their new bats. For value, for some reason, Shane McClanahan is only 7,700 on DraftKings. So I think that's a really good value against the Tigers, who had the 4th highest strikeout rate last year. He's 10-4 on FanDuel. So I would probably just pay up for either Scherzer, Burns, or deGrom. And then $45 on Yahoo. The next value play I like quite a bit is Hunter Green. He's 7,400 on DraftKings, 9,100 on FanDuel, $45 on Yahoo. Going up against the Pirates, they had the 2nd highest strikeout rate last year. He was very good against Pittsburgh last year. He pitched 7 1/3 innings with 9 strikeouts and only 1 run. In the first time he faced them for 50 fantasy points. And then at the end of the year, he pitched 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts for 52 fantasy points. So I think most people are going to pay up for the Scherzers, the deGroms, the Burns, Alcantara, McClanahan, those guys primarily. And I think that Hunter Green's going to go overlooked. So I think he's a good tournament option. My BVP play of the day is going to be Ozzie Albies. He's 3,900 on DraftKings, 3,500 on FanDuel, and $19 on Yahoo. He's 429 with 12 hits and 28 at-bats against Patrick Corbin. Has 5 singles, 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. So he's my BVP play of the day. For my favorite stacks, we have the Atlanta Braves, number 1. And then I also like the Padres and the Twins. And I have one more stack that I'm going to save for my members. So once again, you want to join us at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter, send us a DM. Let us know that you are interested in the MLB special. You'll get the rest of the month and all of April for just $29. Then I have 2 home run calls. One of them I'll save for the members, and the other one is going to be just escaped me. I'm sorry. Who was I going to use? Oh, Manny Machado. That's who it was. So Manny Machado is going up against Herman Marquez, and he is 11 hits in 27 at bats against him, 9 singles, a double, and a home run, and he's 407 average. So we go with Manny Machado as my other home run, and then the second home run call, like I said, is going to be for our members. So I'll be posting that in Discord here in a little bit. And then as far as prize picks goes, I like Patrick Corbin more than 5 hits allowed against the Braves. Also, we have a discount hot dog play, they're calling it. It's kind of like the tacos if you're used to Taco Tuesday. It's Aaron Judge, 0.5 total bases. So you can take the more on that. If you like that, if you think that Judge is going to get at least 1 hit, walks do not count. So just keep that in mind. So he has to have at least 1 base hit, and he'll go over the more than 0.5 total bases. The other play I like is Willy Adames, more than 6 fantasy score. He's 539 with 7 hits and 13 at bats, including 2 home runs against Marcus Stroman. So I like more than 6 fantasy score for Willy Adames. And that is going to do it as far as the opening day podcast. If anybody has any other questions, I'll answer those. And if not, we will get right into posting the lineups here in just a little while at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll wait just a few minutes for anybody that has any questions. Fade, pitcher, or batter, stack, which one? Pitcher. Okay. My fade pitcher is Sandy Alcantara. The main reason is because he didn't get a ton of strikeouts. I know he usually pitches longer than anybody in baseball pretty much, but it is opening day, so he may not go, 7 or 8 innings today. But he's facing the Mets. They had the second lowest strikeout rate last year, and in his games against them, he pitched the first game against them, he got 8 strikeouts, but after that, he only got 4, 4, and 5 in his other 3 matchups against the Mets. So I'm going to say that Sandy Alcantara is my fade pitcher. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody joining today. Like I said, here at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be posting our first Major League Baseball lineups of the season. Once again, you can join us at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter. Send us a DM. Let us know that you're interested in the MLB special. You'll get the rest of the month of March, these last 2 days, and then all of April for just $29. So hope to see you soon. Hope everybody has a great opening day. We're going to absolutely crush it. And I'll be back again tomorrow as we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and Prize Picks all season long. Thank you.